Hey guys, welcome back to the shop and thanks for checking out the video. For today's project, we're going to be taking this piece of ash and turning it into a Christmas tree ornament. So let's go ahead and find our centers, get this thing on the lathe and start turning. Okay, we've got our piece in the chuck. Now it's time to go ahead and taper everything down, make a nice cone shape for our tree. So let's go ahead and get to that. Our cone shape is now in place, and so we're going to go ahead and start laying out our branches as well as our base. As you can see here, I did leave quite a large nub on this side. There'll be one on this side as well, and those will just help give us some additional support as we have more material than what we're going to need. So let's go ahead and get those marked out and start turning in those branches. Okay, now that we've got our branches roughed in, we'll go ahead and sand just with 150. The reason for that is we want this grain open to receiving a special finish that we're going to use on this. So let's get this sanded up and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We have our branches sanded up to 150 grit and our base sanded all the way up to 400. We'll finish off the base completely before moving on to the branches. The reason for that is we're going to use a different finish on the branches than we are on the base. And if we finish this off, if we do get some of that finish from the branches on it, it'll be able to wipe off and not completely ruin that piece. So let's get this one finished up and then we'll move on to the branches. Our bottom is all finished up, and that was just some mineral oil with a beeswax coating on top. So for the top section, we're going to be using a real fun finish that is made out of some children's crayons and some mineral oil. And all you do is melt down the two together and you get this fun wax that you can use to color wood. And it turns out really neat. It picks up in different areas of the grain. So let's go ahead and apply this on here and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We've got a good layer of our crayon finish on here, so let's go ahead now and turn up the RPMs and start to kind of heat polish that into the wood, and it'll help fill in all these different grain lines and really make that pop. Okay. Looking pretty good. I really like the contrast in the grain, and so let's go ahead now and start our sanding, and we'll take it from 220 up to 400, and then we'll see if we need to apply any additional finish. All right, now that we have green finish all over our hands, so it looks like we're turning into the Hulk, I think we're at a really good spot here. I really like how you can just see the color on the grain, and then you can see the ash shining through everywhere else. I think that it looks really, really nice. So let's go ahead and apply some mineral oil to this and get it all finished up. All right, there's a couple different options on how you could proceed here. If we were wanting just to keep this as a standard tree to kind of have it stand on its own, we would finish shaping the top and then cut off the bottom, and then you could just set it wherever you'd like. Whereas we're doing a ornament, that we need a spot to put a little eye so we can get a hook on there. So we'll keep this a little flat on the top. So let's get this cut off and then we can get that eye put in. All right, now it's time to go ahead and put our little screw eye into the ornament so we can hang it up on the tree. Now, I'm not a big fan of the shiny kind of look of these, and so let's go ahead and strip the finish off that, and I'll show you how I do that. All right, after hitting out with the torch, it strips the finish, so we have a nice kind of gunmetal finish to it, and I like the way that that looks. So let's go ahead and get it into our ornament. All right, well there you have it. Our Christmas tree Christmas ornament is complete, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I love the green lines on it, as I said before, and I think that the overall proportions turned out pretty great. It's got a good weight to it. It's not too heavy to where it's going to be pulling down a branch, but it's definitely going to stay in place. I think the only thing left to do is to leave you guys with some close-up shots of it. Thanks so much for checking out the video, and we'll see you on the next one.